Hey guys, welcome to /Rex Games. It's finally time to do the stopwatch. Now, in our last tutorial we did text input output. If you skip the tutorial, please go back because it is a prerequisite to this one. So I'm just going to briefly go over what I'm seeing here right now. I've got sprite button, sprite text box. Yeah, that's the button. Got a sprite text box, and we've got our font time set up. Here we've got object text, which is just exactly the same as in our last tutorial. We've got object hour place. The only difference in here, we've gone to left pressed, and because we're going to have multiple buttons, it's got to know which one is selected, right, as I've described in the last tutorial. And when we click on hour place, it's going to set minute place and second place selected equals false. And then in our draw here, we've just got, it says here hours. That's what's going to be displayed on this input text box. And it's pretty much the same with minutes and second, only in this one, left pressed, here we got hour place and second place selected equals false. And in our draw it says minutes, and in our object second place, when you click it, it's going to set minute and hour selected equals false, and in the draw it's going to say seconds. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add a little button, and it's going to, play or pause the countdown. So we're going to start with the play button because we don't want it to be playing as soon as the room changes. So we're going to add from file, we're going to add the pause, we're going to scale them down. Yeah, 15 is good. Crop that. Alright. So if we go here, we can see our image index is 0 there and it's a 1. So when it starts, we want it to display this one, and the time isn't going to be counting down. And then when we click it, it's going to change it to click to pause, and the time's going to be counting down. So set to that. We're going to call this sprites change state. Okay, then we can have an object here called object change state. Right, and we're going to give it that sprite there. Okay, so firstly, we don't want it to flicker between them. So we're going to go here, we're going to say image speed equals 0. Alright, so it's going to stay on whichever sprite is first in the image index. Then we're going to set image index to 0, just in case. So we've got image speed 0, image index 0. Then we got our left pressed, right here. And it's going to say if, here we go, whoops, if image index equals 0. Okay, so it's on the first one, it's on this one here, and it's saying click me and then we'll start the countdown. So if it's on that and someone clicks it, then it's going to say global dot countdown equals true. So if someone clicks it and it's displaying that that index, then we're going to set countdown to true, and then we're going to change image index to 1. And we've got an else, so if it's displaying 1, so if it's on this one, then it means it's already counting down. So global countdown must be false, so it pauses the countdown. Over here. Okay, else. Global dot countdown equals false. And image index equals 0. It's the opposite. Okay, this is all looking good, looking very good. Okay, so that's the object change state. Very, very simple. Now, what we're going to have is a room. We're going to say, we're going to call this room input. Alright, so the user is going to input the hour, the minute, the second in this input room. And we're going to create another room, and it's going to be called room countdown. Okay, that's where all the action's going to happen. So in our input room, let's go here, yeah, input room, we're going to have hour place right there at the top, minute place in the middle, and second place. Let's just put these kind of in the middle. Okay, alright. Now we're going to need something to confirm. We need a confirm button like right over here, and that'll take us to the next room after it's done some error checking. because we don't want it to go to the next room if one of these values is, I don't know, crazy, something that's not a number, or it's in the wrong format, you know. So we're going to do some error checking. So we're going to go OK, and we're going to make an object here. It's going to be object confirm time. Okay, I'm going to give it sprite button. So it's going to confirm our time. So first we're going to have a create. I always like to put in a create with a Boolean variable called canClick equals true. We're going to leave that to true, just in case you want to disable buttons. It's always just fun to put in this just in case. Okay. So now when we click it, it's going to do all our error checking. So first we need to make some variables here. We're going to say seconds okay equals false, right? Minutes okay equals false, and hours, we can just actually type in hours okay equals false. Okay, so we've got variables here saying seconds, minutes, okay. So first we're going to assume that everything is wrong. We're going to assume that the user has made a giant mistake. Right, so we're going to set those all to false. Okay, then we're going to say if canClick equals true, right, equals equals. So if the button is clickable, which by default it is that correct? Default it's, yeah, default it's clickable. Okay, then here we're going to say hours string equals object hour place, there we go, dot txt. Remember, like in the input output. So we're going to grab that text that's in the hour place text box, and we're going to store it in the variable hours string. Okay, then we're going to go back here, we're going to copy that, we need it twice more, and here we just change hours, change this one to minutes, and the next one we can just change to seconds. Right, so we've got hours, minutes, seconds. Now we're going to do some error checking. We're going to say if string letters, see, we're going to check if, there we go, string letters string, we're going to check if it's letters, you know, because we just want numbers. So we say if string letters, and then we switch here hours string. Okay, so if string letters hours string equals blank, right? Okay, blank. So if that is blank and there's nothing inputted there, and we're going to do it for all of them, we're going to check if they're all right. So we're going to say here and string letters, and then we've got the minute string. Okay. Also blank. Okay, and string letters second string equals blank. Okay, I'm going to have to close off some of these. Let's see, where else? String letter hours string. Okay, that one's closed. This one's open. Oh, we didn't close it again. This one's open. And just, there we go. Whoa, something isn't matching up. Okay, that works. There's an extra bracket here somewhere. Nope, there isn't. Okay, that's fine. Here we go. That's it. Okay. Okay, so we're checking that if there are no letters. So if we convert, that's what string letters does. If we take our string, right over here, and we convert it to letters, we check the letters. We're going to check if there are letters in our string, and if it returns nothing, if it says there are no letters, it's just blank, then we do the same with the minutes, check that there's no letters, and we go string letters, and we do the second string, and we check that there's no letters in there. So if it returns blank and says, hey, there are no letters in any one of these text boxes, then we're going to proceed down here. And here we're going to say, if our string equals blank, if our string is blank, so the user has not entered anything into the hours string, then we say global dot hours equals naught, right? So we're gonna assume that because they haven't entered anything into hours, that it's gonna be 0. And we're gonna say hours okay equals true. Alright? So once we've made hours, we've got our hours, we've put it into a variable, we're gonna say it's okay, so we can proceed to the next one. Here we're gonna say if minutes string, I guess we can just copy that twice. Blip, blip right there. Hours. Change that to minutes, and we can change minutes okay to true. Oh, that's alright. Okay, then hours, here we're going to change that. Seconds, and we're going to put the last one as seconds. Hours, minutes, seconds. Seconds, minutes, hours. Yes, very good, very good. Okay. Alright, so we've got that so far. What we forgot to do is over here, we're going to say if string is blank, we've got to put here, we're going to put else. We're going to say else global.hours equals real. So we're going to say real, we're going to change to a number because we're going to grab, the text we grab is a string. So we're going to take that and we're going to change it using the real function. We're going to change it to a number. And here we say hours string. Right there. Okay. So if our string is blank, then it's going to be 0. Else, if our string is not blank, then we're going to set hours, global.hours to the real value of our string. Okay, so then we're going to do the same way with minutes. We're going to say else. Global dot minutes equals real, and then minutes string, and then seconds. Right here, we're going to say global dot seconds equals real seconds string. Okay, so let's just check this out. Okay, so we've set them all to false. If we can click the button, we set hours string to hours place. Minutes. What about that? Minutes, seconds. There we go. And then we check that. Here we go. We check that the letters, if we convert hours string, and we check if they're letters. If there's no letters, then we proceed and we say if our string is blank, set it to 0, else set our string to whatever real value we can get out of that string. And then we do the same with minutes. Minutes. Alright, seconds okay, very good, very good. Right, so we've taken all that in. Now, we've actually still got to take in the fact that what happens if the user types like, I don't know, 70 minutes. I mean, that's just stupid, but anyone could make that mistake. So if they type in 70 minutes, we get to say, whoa, slow down. Minutes must be below 60. Seriously, So we're going to go here, we're going to say else. We got the global minutes equals real minute string. Now, if we just do that, it's going to say global.minutes to whatever's in that block, as long as it's a real. But we don't want to do that. We want to say if global.minutes, not global.minutes, if real, take that away, if real minutes string is greater, or we can just say is equal. It's greater than or equal to 60. Okay. So if it's 60 or above, we're gonna say, I'm gonna go here, Right, we're going to say something to the user. We're going to say show message. Okay, and we're going to say minutes must be below 60. Okay, minutes must be below 60. Until these, and then we're going to say here minutes okay equals false, because it's definitely not okay. Alright, and then here we've got an else. So we've got a lot of nested if-else statements here. So if, for example, the real minute string is not greater than or equal to 60, then everything's cool, you know? Then here we got our global dot minutes, and then we got global dot minutes, and we set it to the real of the minute string. So we just set it to that. Okay. Alright, and then we got to set minutes okay equals true. Wow, that is quite something right there. So let's go back to here. If the minute string is blank, then we're going to set it to naught, and we're going to say, hey, let's proceed. Everything's in order. Else, so if the minute string is not blank, so there's something in there, we're going to test. First, we're going to convert that something into a number. And if that number is greater than or equal to 60, then we're going to say, you know, minutes must be below 60. We'll put an exclamation point at the end of that. We're going to say, we're really upset right now. You put something in that's wrong, and you shall not pass. Right over here, you shall not pass. And then they're going to have to change it. They can go back and change it, and then click the button again, and then it'll update and see if they can pass or not. So, if, here we got else, here we can say, if global minutes, oh, yeah, if it's less than or equal to 60, no, well, if it's less than 60, so it's 59 or below, then we're going to say global minutes equals, and then whatever value was there, and then we can proceed. So we're going to do the same here with the seconds. So if nothing's in there, then we're going to set it to naught, and we're going to say you can proceed. Else, so we're just going to copy this we got right here, place it with that. Okay, if real, and then we can change this one to seconds. If the second string, alright, it's greater than or equal to 60, it's pretty much the same as the minutes. We're going to say seconds must be below 60. Then we're going to say seconds okay, over here. Equals false, because that's wrong, right? So else, if the real version of the second string is less than 60, we're going to set global.seconds. Here we go, equals second string, right there. And we're going to set seconds okay to true. Alright, that's quite a lot of stuff right there. What's this for? Okay. Now, once everything's okay, so here we've got seconds okay right there, and set to true, and we've got the false version. We go to minutes, we've got minutes, we've got the true, and the false version. And hours, you know, hours doesn't run on 60s, so we don't need that whole thing. So no matter what value they put into hours, as long as it's a real number, we're fine with that. Okay, so now got all that in, so that we've done some error checking. Now we're gonna say, okay, now what are we gonna do if hours, minutes, and seconds is all true? So here we go. Say if hours okay equals true, and we say and minutes okay equals true, double equals, and seconds okay equals true. I like to compartmentalize these just in case. Okay, so if everything is true, hours okay equals true, minutes okay equals true, seconds okay equals true, then we're going to go here, we're going to say global.start seconds equals global.seconds, global.start minutes. Oops. Minutes. And dot start hours equals global.hours. Okay. And then we're gonna say, here we're gonna say room, go to, and then I guess whatever we called that room. What was it? Room countdown. Okay. All right. I mean, I guess, yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, it's alright. Global start seconds. We're gonna make a new variable. Start. Seconds, minutes, hours, and we're gonna set it to those. I've done this just in case the program spazzes, goes to the next page when it's not supposed to. Then it'll bring up an error message instead of using the if I just say here room go to, and then I just use global variables, I just use global minutes, seconds, and hours, then if there's an error somehow, it's going to use whatever's stored in these ones. But if we go over here, anything can be stored in these ones, which is not exactly what we want until all the error checking has been done. So I've created 3 new variables: start seconds, start minutes, start hours, and it's setting them to the same value as global seconds only if everything is okay. Right now, we need to draw event. We need to set the name of this button and all its alignment and all that stuff. So here we're going to say draw set font, and it's going to be what? The same font time. There we go. That's good enough. Okay, here we go. Draw set. Oops. Draw sprite. Okay. Because, you know, we're using a draw event, and we've given it it won't show up if we use a draw event, because it's going to revert to draw whatever's in here and not that sprite. So we're going to set it to draw that sprite again. Right over here. So we're going to say sprite index, image index. Where are you? There we go. And just the X and Y wherever it is. So we're just going to set it to exactly what's over there. Okay. Then next we're going to draw set H alignment. Okay, I'm going to set that to FA center. We want it to be in the center of the button. Okay, then we're going to also draw set V alignment, also FA center. So it's going to be the center on the X and the center of the Y of the button. Then draw text XY, and it's going to say confirm. Click me to confirm. That's what it's going to say. And then draw set H alignment again, FA left. Just reset that alignment. And draw set the V alignment, and we're going to set this to FA top. Okay, that's all good. So it's going to set it to font time. It's going to draw the sprite, which is that button, sprite button. Then it's going to do some alignment. It's going to draw the text confirm. Then it's going to just reset alignment again over there. Okay, so we've got our draw, we're going to create, left pressed, and our draw. So that's the confirm time button right over there. Now all we got to do is the stopwatch controller. Create object, stopwatch controller. It's quite a long one. Okay, it's not going to have any sprite image. Before we delve into that, let's go to our input room. Let's find our object confirm time. Let's put that in there. Right, so input, confirm, change to countdown. Right over here, it's going to go to this room. In here, we can have our change state and our stopwatch controller right over there. So it's going to be displaying, you know, whatever numbers as it counts down. Alright, stopwatch controller, moment of truth. This is the last part. Okay, so we're going to have our create, In our create, we're going to have most of the aspects of the stopwatch controller are exactly the same as the count up controller, only we're going to be counting down instead of up. So it's like the opposite. So here we're going to say global countdown equals false, right? Because when it goes to this room, we don't want it to be counting down yet. Not just yet, until we hit the change state button. Okay. Then we've got our step event. This is where all the action is going to happen. Right over here. Let's make sure we have ample space for this action. Okay. Alright. If global dot countdown equals true, right? So if we're allowed to count down, then we're going to say if global dot start seconds is greater than naught, then every step we're going to say global dot start seconds minus equals 1 divided by room speed. Okay. Okay, that's all good, that's good. So every step, and the steps depending on the speed, which we've got here as just 30. But if your room speed is, I don't know, it could be 1,000 million, 100 billion, okay? Then at least here, it'll still do it, it'll still count down 1 second every real-time second. So make sure you got 1 divided by room speed. Okay, so if it's 30, it'll be 1 divided by 30, and then as soon as it's done 30 over 30, then start seconds will go down by 1 whole unit. Right. So we've got that. Now we've got to think, well, what happens if global dot seconds is less than naught? Because, you know, then we don't want it to display something negative. I mean, that would be stupid. So there's a bit of error control right here. So if global dot start seconds is less than naught, then we're just going to say global dot seconds equals naught, because it's really going, you know, 1 minus room speed. So for instance, if that's 30, it's going to be minusing 1 over 30 every time. We're going to get a lot of decimal. We're going to get a decimal with a long recurring number. So it might say like minus 0.00000 or 99999, sorry, and it's got to set it to naught because we don't want a negative number. Okay, so if global start seconds is less than naught, global dot start seconds equals naught. Here we go. Then we're going to say that if global dot start seconds equals naught, so if it is naught after it's done that whole thing, whoops, then also I mean, in here we're gonna be if start seconds is 0, it's gonna, you know, get the next minute from the minutes. It's gonna take seconds all the way up to 60, and it's gonna be decrementing minutes by 1. So obviously, if global dot start seconds equals naught, we'd also need global dot start minutes, and it's got to be greater than naught, right? Because the only way it'll work is if that one's 0 and this one's greater than 0. So we have something to borrow from. So we're going to say global dot start minutes equals, minus equals 1. So we decrease it by 1. Then we're going to say global dot start seconds. And here we're going to say equals, now you can say 60, just like that. It's not going to be very smooth. This is going to go down by 1. So if that's like 12, it's going to go 11. This is going to go to 60, but then it's got to do a whole lot more code all the way down here before that changes to 59. Now you don't want the user to see 16 seconds because that's just stupid. I mean, you know. So instead, for a smoother transition, between the minutes and seconds, we're going to say, instead of global.seconds equals 60, we're going to say global.seconds equals 59 plus, and here we got room speed minus 1. I guess we can say room speed minus 1 over room speed. I mean, that'll be really, really smooth. Okay. Oh, we can say room speed minus room speed over room speed. I'm just thinking, because if room speed was 30, you'd have something like 59 plus 29 over 30, right? Room speed was 30. So it would give you 29ths of a whole number, so it'd be 59 plus 90% of that minute that you're getting from there. But in the display, it'll say something like you'll have 59,97. I mean, 0.3 of a second, 0.03 of a second is really very small. Okay, so here we're going to say room speed minus 1. So that's the 29 there. So 59 plus room speed minus 1 over room speed. Let's see if that works. If that doesn't work, then we'll just make sure the room speed's 30 or something like that. Alright, so that's done. So it's going to borrow, well, it's going to take that minute, convert it to the seconds, and then decrease the minute by 1. Alright, so then here we go. If global.start minutes, now we're going to be thinking, well, what happens if minutes equals 0? You know? Then we're going to take something from the hours. So global.start minutes, if global.start minutes equals 0, and global.hours, start hours, is greater than 0, right? So we've got something to take from. And here we've also got to say, well, we can only do that if global.seconds, global.start seconds, is requesting that it needs more seconds. So here that's equal to 0. So if global.seconds is requesting a minute, and if the minutes is 0, then we need to make sure that the hours is greater than 0. And then we're going to take from the hours, give it to the minutes, and then it's going to take from the minutes and give it to the seconds automatically, right over there, in the next step when it comes back to the top. So global.start hours minus equals 1, and here we're going to say global.minutes equals 59. That's cool, we can do that. And then global dot, oh, we're going to say here start, don't forget, start seconds, and here we got that same thing again as this. Alright, so that sorts out the getting a digit from hours, giving it to minutes, and then to the seconds, you know. So here we've got if global dot start hours equals 0, and we can say and global dot start minutes, oops, equals 0. I'm going to put that in brackets just in case, and global dot start, not strat, seconds equals 0. So they're all 0 here. Okay, then it's going to be saying show message and something like times up. Time is up. Okay. Now, I think that's pretty much everything in the controller for now. Back to the top, let's have a look. Is it all good? Is it all good? I guess, yeah, global time's up. That's cool, that's cool. I mean, we could say here, room go to, and then it goes back to, you know, input, room input. That could work, you know? This is also another reason why you have global start hours, and you don't just put in global hours, because if it goes to room go to, if it goes back to there, global hours is going to be set to 0, 0. They're all going to be set to 0, and if the player pushes confirm accidentally, it's just going to come up with this time's up message again, because it's all 0. Okay. So it's going to show the message time's up, and the user clicks OK, and then it's going to go back to room go. It's going to go to room input. Right. So we've got the mechanics behind it all there. Now we're going to draw the timer to the screen. Go to draw, drop in some code. Okay, draw set font. We can set that to font time. Very good. And draw set color to sea lime. I think that'll be that'll match this. It's like a sea lime right there. Okay, so we've got lime. Okay, so if this is pretty much exactly the same as the count up timer. We just need to display things depending on what they are. Add a 0 in front of a single digit. You know, give it that digital look. Global dot here we go. Global dot start seconds. Global dot start seconds is less than 10, and global dot start minutes is less than 10. So if they're both less than 10, then we need to give them. So we say draw text on the x and y wherever they are, and we say string. Let me see here. We say start. Oh, whoops. Global dot start. Oh, okay. Global dot start hours. Obviously, that's always going to be fine. And then we've got a plus. Then we've got little 2 dots. There we got the colon and the 0. Remember, because that's minutes. Minutes needs a 0. Okay. Then we're going to add a string. Global dot start minutes. Right there. Okay, so it's going to be hours. Then it's going to be a 0. Then it's going to be minutes, which is less than 10. So it'll be like 9 or below. Then because seconds is in the same boat, it's going to be exactly the same as that. Start seconds right over there. And it's got the 0. And blip right there. Okay, all good, all good. And we have an else if. And in this case, we're going to say what happens if global dot start seconds is greater than or equal to 10. So if it's not, you know, in that boat, it's not less than 10. It's greater than or equal to 10. And global dot start minutes. Global dot start minutes is also greater than or equal to 10. So it's pretty much the opposite of the first one. Here we just say copy that. And we just remove the 0 from these. We don't want that, and we don't want that. Okay. So obviously it's greater than 10, so it'll be like hours, then 2 dots. Oh, we got a colon, sorry. And then we got our whatever minutes, start minutes is, so it'll be 10 or above. And we got our colon, and we got start seconds, and then that'll be a decimal. That'll keep moving. And then we've got else if. What happens if global dot start seconds is less than 10? Okay. And global dot minutes is greater than or equal to 10. So it's going here, global dot minutes is greater than or equal to 10. Okay. So if seconds is less than 10, but minutes is greater than or equal to 10, then we're going to have the best of both worlds. We're going to have one of them is going to have, so we just paste that there. The seconds is going to have a 0, so it's right at the end. We're going to have a 0 there, but the minutes is not going to have 1 because it's greater. And then here we're going to have else if. Okay. What happens if it's the opposite of that one? Then we've got global.start seconds. So what happens if global.start seconds is greater than or equal to 10? And global.start minutes is less than 10. Alright. And what are we going to do? We're going to do this, but inverted. Okay, so start minutes is less than 10, so minutes is going to get that one, and seconds is not going to get it. Okay, so those are our different types. The probabilities of these different things happening. So if that happens, if they're both less than 10, then they both get a 0. Over there, if 1 is greater than 10, or if they're both greater than 10, then they don't get any of them. Right over there, see, nothing. If 1 is less than 10, the other one's greater than 10. The 1 gets a 0 before it, the 1 doesn't, and the opposite. Okay, so that's everything there. Okay, I'm going to save that. That is everything. Now we just check. We've got our, here we go, hour place, minute place, second place, confirm time button, countdown. Here we've got our change state, we've got our stopwatch. It has no sprite because it's going to be drawing the numbers. This is the moment of truth. We're going to see if this works. Okay, so there it says hours, it says minutes, it says seconds, it says confirm. So if we say hours equals 1, minutes equals 10 minutes, seconds equals 5, and we say confirm. Uh-oh, nothing's happening on the confirm. I see. Got to set that to false. Let's go back to here. Let's go back to confirm time. Left pressed. What do we got here? Whoops. Let's find our problem. Can click equals true. Let's make sure. Can click equals true. Okay, it's not that. Alright, those are all false. Hour string. It's grabbing those. That's fine. Okay. Let's look down here. Let's just get rid of all this space. Hours okay equals true, minutes okay equals true, seconds okay equals true. It's gonna go to countdown. Yep, that's supposed to happen. Let's go back to the top of our error checking. That's all good. While we're here, we better just make sure that's done. Put it in the wrong place. That could be the problem. See, it just counts the brackets and it says, hey, you've got enough brackets, but you put it in the wrong place. Okay. Alright, I think I found the problem. If you look over here, it's checking if our string is blank, and if it is, it's setting it to naught, and then it says it's true. But here we've got else, global hours equals rule, so it's getting it. If it's not blank, no, it's not saying it's not, but we forgot to say here, hours okay equals true. Okay? So it was detecting that it wasn't blank, so it was setting global hours to real hours, but it wasn't setting that to true, so it couldn't, because in order to go to the next room, all of these have to be true. Okay, so at least we found the problem. Okay, so hours equals 1, minutes equals, I don't know, 12, seconds equals 7. Oh, wait, let's change seconds to, I don't know, 11, so we can watch it. Countdown, change to the 09, confirm. Now, what does this say? Oh, start hour, supposed to be start hours. Stopwatch controller line 20. Oops, wrong one. Controller line 20. 20. Minutes, hour, hours. Make sure that's right. Seconds, minutes, hours. Hopefully that's the last error. Okay. Hours 1, minutes 12, seconds 13, confirm. Wow, that's tiny. So I'm going to change the font. Wow, I need to increase this font to like, I don't know, 18, no, maybe 20. 20 looks good. Make it even bold. Ooh, yeah. Okay, save. We know there are no errors now. We've fixed all of them. So, there we go. It's filling up those boxes quite nicely. So, hours equals 1. Minutes, we're going to set to 1. Seconds to 13. So, I'm going to let it count down the seconds. We're going to watch it change minutes to 0. Then that's going to go to 59, blah, 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 blah. Let's go confirm. There. 1 hour, 1 minute, 13 seconds. Push play. See, it's not counting down because we haven't pushed play. Push play. Oop. 12, 11, 10, 9. It's going down quite nicely. Now let's see if this is smooth, because that was at room speed minus 1 divided by room speed. And, oh, it worked. That looked pretty good. It looked pretty smooth. I'm gonna, oh, see, pause does work. I'm gonna increase the font size even more. Let's make it 25. Hopefully that's not too big for those boxes. Oh, that's just perfect. Okay, 1, 1, 13. So that's a bit better. Also, let's change the background to black so it really stands out. Just makes it easier to see. Okay, hours 1, minutes 1, seconds 13. Confirm. There we go. 1, 1, 13. Has changed that. It's added the 0. There it hasn't added the 0 because it's greater than 10. There we go. Look at it go down. So you change to the 0. Now it's going to take that 1, change it to 59, room speed minus 1 over room speed. Boop. Very seamless. It seems to be working. It's pretty accurate, I'm sure. Now we need to check if there's 0 minutes. Right, there's 0 minutes. And this gets to 0. It's going to take from the hours. It's going to put to the minutes. Then it's going to take 1 away from there and put it to the seconds. So let's start it again. Start again, then we're going to go here, we're going to say hours equals nothing. So we're not going to type anything into hours, so it's going to go to that thing if the hours thing is blank. If hours.text is blank, it's going to set that to 0. Minutes, we're going to set, oh wait, we want to set hours to 1. Minutes, we want to set to 0, so that one we're going to leave blank. Seconds, we're going to have it in 5. Confirm. What does it say here? Unknown variable minutes. Global.minutes. Uh-oh. Alright, so we've got to find this error. Left press, let's look around here. Seconds, okay, it's okay, setting all those to false, can't click equals true, it's okay, it's setting hour string, blah blah blah, letters, blah, okay, that's checking for letters, global.hours, hours okay, and then since the real minutes string, oh, whoops, if minutes string equals blank, global.hours equals not, that's not right, it's got to say global.minutes equals not. Look at that, a little tiny little mistake like that. And here also, whoa, we forgot, when we copy pasted all those things, we forgot to actually change them. Okay. That's the problem right there. Couple of seconds, it's fine. Minutes, hours, done. Now, save. Let's do this again. So we want to see if it takes 1 from the hours and puts it into the minutes and then into the seconds. So we're going to put this on, let's put on 11, confirm. There we go. So it's 1. It says that because minutes was nothing, because it was blank, it's made it 0, and because minutes is less than 10, it's added the 0 before that. So if we go play, it's going to count down here. Then when that gets to 0, it's going to detect that there are 0 minutes. It's going to take 1 from the hours, so that's going to go to 0. This is going to go to 60, but then at the same time, this is going to be decremented by 1. So it's going to go 59, and that's going to go to 59 plus room speed minus 1 over room speed. Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Here's a moment of truth right here. It's coming up, and boom. See that? That went to 0, that went to 59. This one went to 59 point, a lot of recurring digits. and it's actually counting down as it should be. Look at that, quite nice. And if we pause it, 3, 3, pause, 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 pause. Look at that. That's all working quite nicely. So, this is always good if you've got a game that has a timer, needs to count down to a certain objective. You could use this timer. It's quite complicating for a small part, but you know, it's well worth it, and I think it's fairly accurate. Now, I know this may not be the best way of doing it, but this is just my way, I guess. This is the way that I've found out to be alright. So, thanks for watching. If you like this tutorial, comment, rate, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and you can catch us next time. I'm going to be doing transitions, room transitions, in our next tutorial, so you can catch that next time. Thanks for watching. This is like a